stifle appeal. Some early movement here from Mitchell Starc. What we'd expect from him with the new ball. Much fuller length in usually bowls, looking for that swing. Linda Simmons will be cognizant of that in these initial overs. That's the top of the front flap there. He's off the outside edge. The West Indies up and running. First run on the board. Alongside me, Ian Bishop. Ian, the bowlers did an excellent job yesterday. And they'll want to continue with that, wouldn't they?
Hello, everyone. That's for absolute show at Starc and company. Starc has to lift his performance. He's good enough. Hazlewood was outstanding and brilliant, as well as Marsh with the ball. The West Indies have to bat better. They need to stop soaking up as many dot balls.
And a couple of good games against South Africa, Andrew Fletcher. To have some confidence coming into this series, given another opportunity. Evan Lewis not pulling up 100% tonight. These games are auditions for places, really. Looking ahead at that T20 World Cup later on in the year. So every time you get an opportunity, you want to ensure that you give it your best effort. Huge shot. Given out. Will he review it? Andrew Fletcher does.
Copy, Greg. Review for LBW. TV umpire director, I have a review for LBW. The original decision is out. It's a fair delivery. I have checked already. Could you move on to front and spin vision, please?
Here we go, man.
Thank you very much. Could you move straight into ball tracking? Ball tracker coming up, pitching outside. Impact umpire's call, wickets missing. Gregory, you'll have to change your decision. I'll tell you when you're on screen. You're now on screen, you're now on screen.
Decision overturned by the third umpire on the account of bounce, extra bounce on this surface at the Darren Sammy cricket ground. Andrew Fletcher lives to fight another day.
It's fascinating. I'll come back to it and compare what umpires did in yesteryear and what ball tracking has done in terms of judging height on LBWs. And bounce. Since ball tracking has come in at the turn of the century, there's been a better assessment, usually more often by umpires, in terms of the bounce of the ball. Now, Gregory's looking down, and our cameras are looking down. So when you are looking down, the ball always seems to be lower when you're making your judgments than the reality. In years gone by, too young for you, Samuel, umpires would stand in a squatting, leaning forward position back in the 50s so that they could better judge height and bounce. Not so anymore.
Gets hold of that one, does he? Yes, with the wind. The first 6 of the innings off the bat of Andrew Fletcher spoils an otherwise excellent over from Mitchell Marsh. Mitchell Starc, beg your pardon, 9 without loss after 1. Nicholas Pooran standing captain in this the second match. We had an exclusive opportunity to hear him after last night's victory.
Thank you for supporting me. I know sharing your experience on the field. At the end of the day, it's not one person winning the game, but it's all of us winning the game, and that will keep making us stronger as a team. Sorry. And to me, again, If you don't get complacent, you wake up tomorrow, wake up on the right side of the bed, and come out here with the right attitude again to win cricket games. Even more convincing than this. And we go, we find something to smile about and keep on supporting us and keep on saying positive things about us, right? So, well done, man.
Smiles from the players after that victory, and why not? Really a remarkable game last night, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Josh Hazlewood, the excellent Josh Hazlewood from the pavilion end.
And very important for Simmons and Fletcher to remember what length generally Josh Hazlewood in the power play will bowl. Starc wasn't as full in his first over as he was last night. He hit more of a length, but Fletcher hitting with anticipated angle back in very, very well with the wind.
Did have a few games in the BBL, Andrew Fletcher. Just cast our minds back to yesterday's power play performance from Josh Hazlewood. 3 overs, 1 maiden, 2 wickets and 3 runs. And it's that length that you're alluding to, that natural length that he bowls. You have to find a way to counteract that, because it is what you're going to expect. It's what he does.
Power play for Hazlewood has been, as we said, in that good length area. And then when he came back at the death for that last over, we saw those red ones, those Yorkers, which he did so well until the last ball to Bravo, where it was pulled for 6. But what I always like to say, Samuel Badgery, is that teams will be studying you. They will work on what you're accustomed to doing and try to counter it. And so Hazlewood himself will know that if they're expecting to sit back on my length, occasionally I can also go fuller.
In many ways, it's about trying to be unpredictable, especially in this format. But boy, wasn't he excellent at the start of the innings last night. Evan Lewis, the first to depart, that extra bounce that he gets. And then Chris Gayle, cramp for room, and a simple catch. And then at the back end of the innings, at the death, the final over, we got the prize wicket of Andrew Russell with that adjustment in length. And West Indies would want to improve on that performance in the power play from last night. 24 for 2 they were at the end of 6. And in that phase, in those 6 overs, they had 28 dot balls, which is a significant number, 28 out of 36. Lyndall Simmons himself had around 18. Good over from Hazlewood, just 3 from it. 12 without loss after 2. Some of these batsmen will be under the microscope as we get closer to that T20 World Cup. A change in bowling from the media center in Ashton Eager for his first bowl of the game. Good economy, given the fact that he bowls generally in this phase.
Oh, nice.
And generally, that's what he tries to do. Tries to cramp the right-handers for room, finish on that leg stump line, wicket to wicket at the very least. Rarely would he give you anything to cut, anything loose through the offside. Protection at deep backward square, deep mid wicket.
Yes. Reginald.
I just feel that he missed out there. Lindell Simmons got length, got width, but also got the fielder.
Catch! Bowling.
Goes for the heave. Only a single result.
And if at all Agar misses his line, there's a huge gap between fine leg and mid-on. That is an easy single anytime he gets too straight, at least an easy single.
Yeah!
Clean him up, wicket to wicket. You miss, I hit, and that's exactly what he did, Ashton Agar. Fletcher misses, his middle stump goes for a walk.
Gave himself far too much room. Showed everything and no attempt really by Agar to look to spin it. Just seam up. Reminiscent of a left-arm spinner from Pakistani Mad Wasim, who does the same thing so well to right-handers. Fletcher goes for 9, 13 for 1.
Incoming batsman, Christopher Gayle.
Chris Gayle, very experienced player, makes his way out in the middle at that pivotal number 3 position. Just 4 to his account last night. Can he make an impact in this, the second T20 international? And this is the reason why he's here. Premeditation from Andrew Fletcher, doesn't make contact. And that thudding sound onto the stumps.
Oh!
Not what you want to hear as a batsman. A confident start from Chris Gayle.
Yes, moving, Larry.
Excellent over. First over from Ashton Agar. Just a single and the wicket. 3 gone, 13 for 1. Hazlewood continues. Umpires for tonight's match. Umpire Joel Wilson, presiding at the moment. Hails from Trinidad and Tobago. Experienced official along with Gregory Brathwaite out of Barbados. Both men trusted with the responsibility of taking us through tonight's match. By Gustad, the third umpire. Gustad out of Jamaica. And change in field. Backward point goes back on the boundary. Third man comes into the inner ring. Up in the air. Ball safely. Goes towards that vacant third man region. Not convincing.
Because Hazlewood's length is generally down in that area, Simmons tried to come towards it to create not only some momentum but his own length. But the bounce proving difficult to handle.
helps this one. Will go for 6. And just walks inside the line and uses the bounce to his advantage, Lindell Simmons.
Contrasting efforts to play the bounce of Hazlewood. The ball before Simmons was down the track, got a top edge. This time he hangs back, anticipating that same length and using it with a short fine leg. Much more controlled, better result.
Straight to the fielder. And Josh Hazlewood has already conceded tonight more boundaries than he conceded in his 4 overs yesterday. Just the 1 boundary yesterday. And that was the 6th of the very last ball. And Simmons just using the pace, using the bounce. More convincing the second time around.
Kind of where mentioned in the first over where you can probably sit back and force Hazlewood to try to pitch the ball up. Because you know he's going to be bowling that consistent length, and he does it very well, to be fair to him. You'd find very aware batsmen would say, okay, if you're going to be that predictable, I'll sit back and see what results I can get from there and force the bowler to do something a little bit out of his comfort zone at this stage.
Ball is for 2. He will get there comfortably. Expensive over from Hazlewood, 14 from it, 27 for 1 after 4. Mitchell Starc back into the attack. West Indies have already gone past their power play score from last night. They were 24 for 2 after 6. Went to the 5th, they're 27 for 1. So an improvement already in that regard.
Just watching Starc in this first over tonight, and yes, he was on that length. The blue ones are from the first T20, that was 24 hours ago, and he was much fuller. He was perhaps too full with the minimal swing last night. Just pulled his length back slightly for a few of those deliveries in his first over tonight. Did get a little bit of swing. Nice single. But in pulling back his length, he wasn't able to win the LBW against Andre Fletcher because of the extra bounce, just enough bounce in the surface.
All about adaptability and assessment. T20 cricket and all forms of cricket, really. Ability to think on your feet. This one's gone. Anything in that direction is going to disappear. Lindell Simmons gets another 6.
It's a tremendous shot. The wrist work is good. The line too straight from Mitchell Starc onto the roof of a fellow World Cup winner of Samuel Badri Johnson Charles stand. who opened the batting for the West Indies in T20 cricket for a few seasons. One of the things I love about what we saw last night, one of the things was the way that bowlers generally forced batsmen often to try to play their shots into the wind and towards what we'll call the eastern side of the ground. Yes, there were some sixes that were snatched towards the west where that went. And I thought last night was a good exhibition of what bowlers were trying to do and forcing batsmen to do.
There is and always has been that strong wind factor at this venue. That's generally the plan of bowlers to do just that, to ask the batsmen to hit into the wind. We did have 12 of the 15 sixes hit with the wind. But it's all about having that plan and executing.
So Starc has got to go more off stump now then, without going too wide. Off stump.
That's generally what they'll try to do throughout the course of this game, no matter what the phase in power play, through the middle, and even at the back end. And that was a no ball from Mitchell Starc. It will result in a free hit. So a gift for Lyndall Simmons, confirmation of that there. And will he be able to accept this gift, Lyndall Simmons, or what will Starc do? Well, he redeems himself. Mitch Starc. Lyndall Simmons anticipated that line. Went across to the offside. Just two-ended this one. All is well. That ends well for Mitchell Starc. A historic day for Australia. And Australians, Ash Barty won the Wimbledon singles. First time since 1980. So excellent for her. Ash Barty, of course, represented the Brisbane Heat in the WBBL. And Simmons just asking for another guard. It seems as though he's asking for an off stump just to make that accommodation for that anticipated line.
That's where, again, we're talking about Starc asking him to hit into or against the wind.
Finds the gap. Gets a couple to end the fifth over. 37 for 1, the West Indies.
.37 for 1. The West Indies with a better start in the power play overs. After 6 overs in that first game, they were 24 for 2. Already a difference in terms of production of runs. Good evening to everyone in the West Indies. Good morning and happy Sunday to you in the land down under. Quick single taken. Aaron Finch, very similar in approach with his bowling changes. Again, 3 overs for Hazlewood in the power play overs. I expected him to go with Ashton Ager for a second over. Didn't do so. This time around, 2 overs for Mitchell Starc. Only bowled 1 in that first match. That's 1 within the power play. So just a subtle change to strategy from the Australian captain. Simmons advances, gets hold of it, and it's another maximum for the right-hander.
I think that's the difference, the movement of the batsman in his crease, out of his crease to advance to Hazlewood. He's getting a maximum here of this one. Simmons.
Edged, and he's gone. Lendl Simmons once again trying to manufacture a shot for another boundary. And he just loses his wicket in the act.
He's trying to do too much here, Lendl Simmons, making room. But again, it's not there for that cut shot, similar to last night. Hazlewood celebrates. Lendl Simmons goes for 31. West Indies 44 for 2.
Shimron Hetmyer, the new batsman for the West Indies. Had to bat through the middle overs in that first game. Got 20 from 25. Left-hander, and he's here because of this. Off the mark straight away, Hetmyer. Many of you Australian fans will be following this Australian team. There's an interesting stat about this squad and team. Since 2013 in white ball cricket, only 3 times Australia has played without Warner, Smith, Maxwell and Cummings. And on all 3 occasions, they've lost. I say that because we heard Aaron Finch talk about batsmen not batting deep into the innings, maybe lacking in a bit of experience in that situation. Well, those 4 names, match winners in their own right. Very experienced players who are not part of this Australian squad for this tour. .46 for 2, end of the power play overs.
change of bowling. Adam Zampa comes into the attack.
Boy.
Slip in play. Adam Zampa to Chris Gayle. As we've seen in this Australian T20 side, Adam Zampa bowls primarily in the middle phase of the innings. Throughout overs number 7 to 15. Sometimes he bowls a little bit deeper into the death overs. He is a genuine wicket taker for Australia.
Not much fielding position changes. Two left-handers at the crease.
Boy.
I'm sure Aaron Finch and Adam Zampa will be hoping to contain this pair and get into that West Indies middle order. This is a phase that the West Indies traditionally, as a team, has struggled in to score runs fluently. Just gets a bit of bat on this one. Chris Gayle, cheekily done. He gets a boundary.
It's good to see. Just a nice little paddle. Gets him 4 runs, Chris Gayle.
Boy.
Again, that first match, the West Indies was a lot better than what we've seen from them in the middle overs. They scored 68 runs and just lost 2 wickets.
Bowling.
A lot of that effort had to do with Shimron Hetmyer and how he played in that phase.
Boy.
.53 for 2. First time in this game, we'll see Mitch Marsh, who did a good job in that first game. 2 for 26. His all-round skill coming to the fore. He scored runs. Will be high on confidence.
And just as you mentioned, him and Zampa just coming in these crucial overs. These crucial middle overs.
Shimron Hetmyer and Chris Gayle will also be mindful of is the absence of Karen Pollard, who is someone who bats in the middle, who will usually score at a quick rate. So it's still important to bat with a good tempo in these overs. Evan Lewis is normally very aggressive at the top. He's not playing today. Off the inside edge. A fortuitous boundary for Chris Gayle and the West Indies, and they'll take it.
Yeah, just an inside edge from Chris Gayle, but it gets him a boundary. He started off very slow and very quiet. Wide signaled. Just being very patient here, Chris Gayle.
Chopped on. Chris Gayle trying to force it through the offside. Just didn't get it right, and another wicket for the Australians.
Yeah, just playing this one on to his stumps, trying to make some room for that offside, to get through that offside. But he has to go. Chris Gayle goes for 13. West Indies, a 59 for 3.
For the 2 wickets, Chris Gayle, bowled by Hetmyer. Incoming batsman is Zampa.
Dwayne Bravo gets a promotion. Batted at number 8 in that first T20 international. Now he is here at number 6 because of this Chris Gayle. Bravo at number 5, I beg your pardon. But Chris Gayle just trying to force this one. His run of low scores continues. Just cannot seem to get going in these T20s at home. 56 runs in 4 matches against South Africa, and already in 2 matches here. End of a very successful over for Australia, 59 for 3. Australia just pulling things back a bit. Last wicket fall that of Chris Gayle. Ashton Agar, after a successful first over, back with the ball.
Larry.
Of course, fans are allowed to witness these matches here in St. Lucia, fully vaccinated fans. There is Darren Sammy, former captain of the West Indies, and alongside him, right of screen, Mackay Charlemagne, one of St. Lucia's 5 athletes named for this month's Tokyo Olympics. 18-year-old will swim in the 50-meter freestyle. Great to have both of them at the ground. Hopeful for a lot of West Indian athletes participating in this year's Olympics.
Nice bowling. Moving Moses.
But since 2016, Bravo has never batted this high in T20s for the West Indies, so here he gets an opportunity.
Bowling.
I think with a lot of questions around that anchor position and having a senior batter in the middle with young Hetmyer and young Puran. I think it's important that, yeah, he can step up into that middle order and, you know, just help guide and speak to these players, encourage them.
Normally Nicholas Puran will bat in the position
Nice box.
that Bravo is in currently. Both Nicholas Puran and Shimron Hetmyer haven't been amongst the runs of late. Puran in particular didn't have a good first half of the IPL.
Oh, that's a nice spin. Low out of the light. Thank you.
But this is good rotation of the strike. At least they're rotating the strike, they're getting singles, they're building a partnership.
Oh, that's close, lads. Ball.
Another single
Keep
in the
watching,
over.
mate.
And just 6 runs coming from it, 65 for 3.
Straight up. Flip.
That run rate just slowing down a bit in the last 3 or 4 overs. West Indies focusing on preserving wickets and making sure that they can explode in the end. Remember, the average first inning score here at the Darren Sammy ground, 154. They'd want to be above par. Cuts it away. Nice diving effort in the field. And McDermott doing the work for the Australians.
Yeah, this one was nicely played by Hetmyer, just picking that gap. This was a good fielding effort
He's going to go there for sure.
by McDermott, just saving 1 run.
That first game, the Australians missed a couple chances, not as efficient and effective as they would have wanted to be. So I'm sure Justin Langer, Aaron Finch would have spoken of that as an area for improvement. Put it down. I'll have to look at that again to see if he got there in the end.
You're just pushing up this one, Dwayne Bravo. Not a very good follow through by Zampa. Just spilling this one. It's too easy.
And that's a surprising delivery. Previous one. Just bounced a bit on Dwayne Bravo. I think he was expecting that extra bounce, a slower delivery, and it should have been taken. Zampa will be disappointed with that effort.
Two is the call. And they complete two successfully. That's good running between the wickets between Hetmyer and Bravo. This is what we saw Australia do last night.
Another single for Hetmyer. He scored off every ball he's faced so far in this innings. Not so good. His rotation of strike has been in this innings, something that has been lacking by the West Indies in this phase of the innings. So good batting so far from Hetmyer. Looked like there was some bat on that one. Just a single. Only two boundaries beyond the power play overs. At the halfway stage of the innings, 73 for 3.
You went backwards first. Larry!
Agar.
Hold, Larry.
Another single to Dwayne Bravo. Last ball of the previous over. Got bat on it. And that negated anything. Hello, Kirtley.
Hello, Bish.
Nice,
The
Red.
running between the wickets for the West Indians have been pretty good so far. That is something that we've been asking for a long time. There's a 1-0 chance here. Would have probably taken a direct hit.
Too far, sorry.
Very good running. Talked a lot last night about how Australia ran well in their first 10 overs anyway. It's a good example so far in this partnership of Hetmyer and Bravo. They need to go on for a while yet, though. Point I want to make later if we get the chance about why Bravo's there. It'll speak to the fact that we've just another layer. We're talking about someone who can hold the middle overs together, because you don't maybe trust Andre Russell to bat this many overs. Or maybe that his role is not this.
Nice, buddy.
Come back to it.
Nice, Ricky.
11 overs gone, 78 for 3.
Just looking from next door at that missed opportunity by Adam Zampa. When the ball went into the air, he held back, he stepped back. His first step was actually backwards because he thought the ball was coming at him. And by the time he started moving forward, it was too late. So he misjudged the trajectory early. You don't quite see it there.
Probably the sound when the ball hit the bat, he probably thought maybe it was going to come towards him, and it didn't.
Just leading to my point about the layers of what's happening. You might see it better from this angle. There, you see, he takes a little, almost a backward side step, and then he went forward, and it was too late then. Have it, look at it one more time. Popped, side and back, and too late by the time he got there.
Big shot. That is huge. Dwayne, bravo. All the way over the side screen into the boundary for 6. Powerful hit.
Good use of the feet. And you know, so many people tend to forget. I don't know how long this will go on for with Bravo, but Bravo made his international debut as a batsman who bowls, not a bowler who bats. Long time ago. That's the point I'm coming to, that West Indies are fighting to get someone to bat through the middle overs. And here's the layer I'll add to this, whether you need one of these anchors or not.
Catch.
Dropped it. Dan Christian. Last night he had a good effort on the opposite end of the ground and he couldn't get back to Agar. This time he got good ground.
Got there quite comfortably. Went in for a split second and then popped out. And he's a disappointed man.
88 for 3.
Come on, boys.
Quickly, I named 4 teams that could possibly, and I said possibly last night, get to the World Cup semis. Possibly. India, Australia, full team, England, maybe West Indies, maybe New Zealand. So that's 5. Taking out the West Indies. And the reason that I'm saying that is because if you're looking at guys who can fulfill an anchor role, all of those teams, their batsmen continue to play test or domestic red ball cricket. It got enough on it, just enough. Mitchell Starc was eyeing it up. And it's a game of inches sometimes.
He was right on the boundary ropes. Thought for a brief moment that he's got it. And just enough to go over the ropes for 6.
Good skill. That's a sort of soft skill that guys who play red ball cricket are able to execute for a long time. So they are depending on this young guy. not too many of this West Indies team play red ball cricket. Some guys haven't played for 7 years, 6 years. Chris Gayle back to 2014, Pollard 2015. Hetmyer still trying to get a second first-class 100. So it just adds a little layer of how demanding it is for them to get guys to bat through the middle at a tempo. All those teams that I called have a top order consisting of 3 or 4 guys who play white ball cricket as well as red ball. So the muscle memory recently is there. Lovely shot. It sounded beautiful from Dwayne Bravo with the wind again. 100 comes up for the West Indies.
Certainly was another mighty blow from Dwayne Bravo. Just clearing that front leg a little bit. Sounded really sweet off the bat. And into the stands. And the spectators who are here really enjoyed that one.
Get some new balls. You think back to the 2 World Cups of West Indies. You were there for 2016. You had a guy called Marlon Samuels who was absolutely critical in batting overs and then accelerating to the middle. 2 match-winning knocks in 2 finals. He was playing Test cricket regularly at the time.
That's what made a difference. Marlon Samuels knew what to do and did it to perfection twice. First wicket to go, Andre Fletcher, giving himself some room. Second was Simmons, edging to the keeper after a brilliant innings. And Chris Gayle, his struggles continues, dragging that one on.
Going to be the question, how much time do you give Gayle with the World Cup? Not too far away.
Pass, Reggie. Boy.
Christopher Gayle certainly has struggled for quite some time now.
Bowling, Larry.
104 for 3. You can rally in your West Indies gear this summer if you shop now at castor.com/collection/West Indies. Get your replica gear, training tops, test gear, everything available online. Offline is Mitchell Marsh in real time here. Splendid game last night already. Has a wicket. What he did last night to Hetmyer was that he bowled across Shimron Hetmyer last night consistently from that very end until Hetmyer nicked to Mitchell Starc, who was at a short third man position.
Much is expected from this young man, Shimron Hetmyer. That was last night. Brilliantly caught the short third man by Mitchell Starc. The plan worked. There were a couple of wides prior to that delivery. but they knew what they were working on and succeeded in the end.
Let's see if he continues. He already did it the first ball to Shimron Hetmyer. And it's something I'm sure they would have been watching the South Africa series and saw how South Africa adjusted their lines wide to several players like Russell, Pollard, Hetmyer to an extent. Hetmyer got across towards off stump and has launched that beautifully.
Another lusty blow. Look at that, went way across the off stump. Was it going to fall in the chop like it did last night? And muscled it over mid-wicket, the longest part of the boundary for 6. Also brings up the 50 partnership between Hetmyer and Dwayne Bravo. Only from 37 deliveries. That is good going.
Another 50 partnership between Dwayne Bravo and Hetmyer.
The umpire searched for the ball. I think it's how you pace the innings. The West Indies managed to get over the line last night, but I still felt Hetmyer needed to do a bit better. He was less than a runner ball, so he didn't quite find the groove last night. Tonight, he's 29 from 18 so far, strike rate 161, and he's batting through the middle, as he did or tried to do last night. How does Marsh respond to this now? Hetmyer again anticipating the line and across. And I like the fact that he went through the offside, didn't try to force the onside.
Very good running as well. Have to commend Hetmyer and Bravo for the running. Has been good. And that is exactly what we want to see more often.
Marsh is holding his line. He's clear in his mind what he wants to bowl to Hetmyer. He's holding his line.
Wide called because of height. Mitch Marsh bowling a short delivery, but in the umpire's mind a little bit too high. Let's have a look from side on. Yes, good call. That's the correct call.
Should be at least a couple of leg byes. They get a couple. 118 for 3. Captain with the pads on. Andre Russell doesn't look as though he's got the pads on. Can't see him in shot. There he is, yes, he's got it on. Who comes next? Tremendous. Such a sweet use of the feet and timing.
Certainly was a good shot. Good use of the feet. Inside out over wideish long off. That is Hetmyer at his best. And he's a man on a mission.
Sanitizing the ball now. So with this use of the feet, it's just a hit with the wind, him coming down the inside, the leg side of the ball. What's the adjustment Zampa makes here? He's got 3 men lining the leg side boundary, which is into the wind, into left of your screen. Does he go googly into middle and leg stump, or does he continue trying to go wide of off?
I think he should bowl a little more middle and leg and force Hetmyer to hit into those strong wind. This is good cricket so far by the West Indies.
They've been doing a lot of work with Hetmyer. I know behind the scenes they've been talking a lot to him. He's been negotiating conversations about how he can refine his talent.
Well, a little bit unlike Dwayne Bravo, because he really fancies the offside. He likes to hit inside out. And he dragged that one from wide of off stump through mid-wicket. A little bit out of character.
There's the leg stump line. Yeah, if you go back to that shot, I think the wind seduces every batsman here, trying to hit leg side for right-handers from that end. Can they get to, can the West Indies Russell to come, Puran? We don't know in which order. Maybe it'll depend on who gets dismissed, left or right-hander, maybe. Russell certainly is in good form, so you'd want him to get deliveries.
Yes, I think Russell would be the obvious choice. Just about to complete over number 15.
Mishit it, it almost hit the bottom of the bat, so he didn't quite get the wind to help him as much as he would like. 129 for 3.
Stage is set for the West Indies, 129 for 3. Quite a number of power players still in the dressing room. Andre Russell, Nicholas Puran, quite a number of spectators at the ground as well. Fully vaccinated fans enjoying the action, live action here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. Dan Christian for the first time in this innings. Just miscued this one. I'm surprised that Aaron Finch waited until the 16th over to introduce Dan Christian. He bowled the 9th and the 18th in that first game. There's been a lot of talk about his inclusion in this Australian side. Samuel Badri of Aboriginal heritage as well, Dan Christian. He's given yeoman service to Australian cricket This is a phase of the game they'll need to focus on. West Indies, they usually score in excess of 10 runs per over in these death overs.
Come just in front of square. Bit square there.
That's a good delivery from Dan Christian. Just followed Bravo.
We have a wonderful part of the world here in St. Lucia for this 5-match T20 International Series. The majestic Piton Mountains, very famous around the world. Marigot Bay, Pigeon Island, the Sulphur Springs, so much to do. There's so many places to visit. Really a honeymoon destination as well. St. Lucia, warm and friendly people. Put it on your list as a place that you must visit. Good running once again from these two.
It's been the hallmark of this partnership, apart from the good balance in boundary hitting and rotation of strike. Immediately, the intensity was there in the first run. There was no hesitation in going back for the second.
What we've seen from the left-handed Shimron Hetmyer in particular, we've also seen it from Dwayne Bravo. They're making the accommodation to get access through that onside to hit with the wind. So Hetmyer is moving quite early across to the offside.
Finds the field on this occasion. There's been a lot of debate around Shimron Hetmyer and what he's accomplished for the West Indies in international cricket. He's got immense talent. Many feel that he should produce a lot more with the bat. Was the captain of the West Indies under-19 team that won the World Cup, under-19 World Cup in 2016. Is that an opportunity? Mitchell Starc was running around, might have been just short.
And just a contrast, Dwayne Bravo going to the onside again, trying to access that side of the ground. But very smart work from Dan Christian, varying his pace, following the batsman. So it's good counteractive play here between these two, batsman and bowler.
.135 for 3.
There's a strong wind factor at this ground. So batsmen will look to target that portion of the ground with the wind. You can see what happened yesterday. He stood very straight in his crease, but today he's making that accommodation. Shimron Hetmyer yesterday on the left of screen, tonight on the right. So he's moving quite early so that he can access and reach those deliveries.
Mitchell Starc was put under a lot of pressure bowling in this phase of the innings. In that first game, was quite expensive, conceding 40 runs in his 4 overs. Highlight of this venue, the strong wind.
So from this end, the media center end, he'll be bowling outside off stump to Dwayne Bravo. Dwayne Bravo, however, is very strong through that region.
This is that one, Bravo. Starc just using the angle round the wicket, just to get it a little straighter to Bravo. Australia will be aware of his strength being through that extra cover region, and I'm sure they'll be searching for Yorkers this stage of the innings. Gets it in that full region. Mitchell Starc. The back of Dwayne Bravo's mind, he will know that Andrew Russell is still to come. When you have a player of that sort of stature, it weighs on your mind, so Bravo will be searching for boundaries. That will be his highest priority for the rest of his innings.
Along with Nicholas Pooran and Fabian Allen, so some power in the sheds. So he almost has a free license now. He's done his job through the middle, consolidated, gotten the team out of that spot of bother. Now he has to either explode or get out. Get Andrew Russell in, Nicholas Pooran, Fabian Allen, the boundary hitters.
Oh, that's good class. Shimron Hetmyer is the epitome of talent. Gets his 50 in fine style. What an innings we've seen from the young man.
Absolutely magnificent, well-paced, good tempo, good balance. Really an innings of class and authority from Shimron Hetmyer of just 29 deliveries. Good anticipation and invention as well. Knew the length that Starc was looking for and just used that to his advantage. Very courageous shot as well.
Very smart from Mitchell Starc. Just adjusted his length. As many times at this stage of the innings, you can become predictable as a bowler if you choose only one option. That full option. Hetmyer got it right the first time around. Got to his 50. And just missed out. Where will he go now? Defensive Yorker just inside the white line. Or will he go attacking Yorker full and straight?
Well, he gave himself some room, Shimron Hetmyer, to go through the offside. Didn't get the connection that he would have liked. Maybe a direct hit. Would have been in some trouble. Been really good in the field in these two matches so far. And the Australians, a couple blemishes, but they'll want to finish strong with the ball.
Length. Might just go all the way. It does. That's how strong the wind is blowing in that direction. Bravo using the pace. And he likes the result.
17 gone, 149 for 3.
Bravo and Hetmyer, they've put on 90 runs in this partnership of just 59 deliveries. 7 sixes, no fours in this partnership. Hazlewood has his work cut out now. Just a 1 over remaining for him in his complement of 4. Took piece off the ball, kept it straight. Just not allowing Hetmyer to access that one.
And of the 3 overs to be bowled in this innings, 2 of them will be bowled from the pavilion end. So the left-handed Shimron Hetmyer will be hitting with the wind. And Dwayne Bravo will definitely try to access that region as well, but the lengths that we've seen from Hazlewood last night suggests that he'll be looking for those Yorkers against the right-hander.
Did well on that occasion. So important as a bowler in these death overs to keep your eye also on the batsman and his movement. Not good for the Australians. Extra conceded. Second no ball in the innings for the Australians.
Just confirmation, nothing behind the line. I'm sure the coach will be making a note of that. Dwayne Bravo in the between overs was saying that he's trying to go, he's just not timing them. He knows that he has to go. Dwayne Bravo. Hetmyer on strike with this free hit.
So composed, Hetmyer. Poor signal, looked as if it went all the way. But we will have another look.
Yeah, just from the first look, it seemed as though it fell on the advertising board. And if it does land full on it, it will be 6. But we'll wait for confirmation. The umpire did signal 4, so he was right. Umpire Joel Wilson.
Goes again, finds the gap. That's a nice shot by Hetmyer. He's turning it on. 100 partnership for these two.
What a partnership this has been. Dwayne Bravo and Shimron Hetmyer. Josh Hazlewood missing both his line and his length. You cannot afford to bowl straight from that end unless it's a Yorker, unless you absolutely nail that delivery. Just 63 balls between these two.
Through the offside. Just flies over that third man area. Hetmyer now firing on all cylinders. We'll see this from these two at the crease.
Just acknowledging that partnership, these two, 103. It stands now. But he's trying to vary what he's doing, Josh Hazlewood. The length, the slower balls, the line, so that he doesn't become predictable. He can't be lined up.
Just misses out. Will be run out, yeah. Bravo was quick to call. Hetmyer a little bit slow in responding. And he departs in a soft manner after a well-played half-century.
Yeah, simple dismissal in the end for Josh Hazlewood, going after everything. And called him through, did Dwayne Bravo. Matthew Wade was equal to the task and knew exactly what needed to be done. But an excellent innings from Shimron Hetmyer, 61 from 36, comes to an end. West Indies 162 for 4.
Andrew Russell, the commanding figure, comes to the crease now for the West Indies. Just over 2 overs remaining in the innings. Can he make a significant impact with the bat, Russell? Might be 4. Oh, good feeling. And Christian. saves a couple runs. 18 gone, 164 for 4. A lot of good signs for the West Indies. More consistent run scoring throughout the innings. Not losing wickets in clusters. This was the run out of Shimron Hetmyer after he's played so well. In a split second, he just looked back at the wicketkeeper when Bravo was all the way through. In the end, he was just short. This man now has the opportunity. Make use of 12 deliveries remaining in the innings.
Yeah, Mitchell Starc operated from over the wicket predominantly last night. He's gone straight away around the wicket to Russell.
Very good first delivery. Mitchell Starc went full and straight. This was last night. From over the wicket, he was quite wide, allowed Russell to free his arms. Russell at that stage was going after everything, so I suspect his lines will be a lot straighter. He might be a lot fuller. Just to contain the power of this man.
He has to be thinking Yorkers, doesn't he, Mitchell Starc? A Yorker in any venue, any condition is an excellent delivery once you can execute and nail them.
He just picked it up. Was a pacey delivery, 140 clicks. All Russell had to do was get bat on it, and he did so nicely.
Yeah, quick hands here from Dre Russ. Just a flick of the wrist. A whip, really. Very powerful. Once he gets bat on them, ball just seems to travel.
This is where Russell is so dangerous. There's one line of thinking, boundaries. Wow! Off the middle of the bat and flies away for 6. Russell power.
And that's an excellent description, Darren. Dangerous. Dre Russ, again, a magnificent blow. And that ball will have to be sanitized. This blow, look at that. And such a good swing of the bat. He's hit a few of those last night in that direction. He's got another one tonight. 174 now. Can they get up to that 200 mark? 9 deliveries left.
Well, it's the highest team score for the West Indies in the series of T20 matches at home. They played 5 against South Africa. This being the second of this CG Insurance T20 series. Yesterday, Russell was also very destructive. Got his first T20 international half century. 3 4s and 5 massive 6s in typical Russell style. Took the West Indies out of trouble. They were in a spot of bother, and he played this hand. Back live. Did well to get back on that one. Just a single, so Bravo now with the opportunity to score a boundary.
Yeah, he went for that short delivery on the body, didn't he? Mitchell Starc, a little bit risky with the fine leg up. Had that protection, not backward square, and the ball went straight to him. So in the end, it worked out well.
Good move by Starc. You're a fast bowler, you've got to use your short delivery as well. Just make the batsman think a little bit more. Educated edge from Bravo, he wouldn't mind this. He was making room. Smile on his face says it all.
First boundary for Dwayne Bravo, along with 3 sixes. Just making room. Gets a thick outside edge, and with the third man up, it was always going to be 4. Moves to 44 now, Dwayne Bravo. 179 for 4.
Very good over for the West Indies. 16 runs coming from it. 180 for 4. Already a commanding score for the West Indies, 180 for 4, 6 deliveries remaining in the innings. Dan Christian will have the responsibility to bowl these.
Yeah, wind or not, they'll have to go for everything in this over.
Not well directed, but you can sense what he's trying to do. Stay quite straight to Dwayne Bravo, not allow him to hit through the offside.
A quick chat between Dwayne Bravo and Andrew Russell. I just suspect it is to get Russell on strike. Whether he hits it or misses it, Dwayne Bravo. And just putting him on alert to that fact, Dwayne Bravo.
Bat flying off the hand, ball skying high. Zampa doesn't get there. Not easy to take a catch like that in the night sky with high wind as well.
They never looked confident under that one, Adam Zampa. No, not for the first time. We've seen something like this from Dwayne Bravo. Just loses it completely. But that swirling wind and in the night sky, running back, never easy. Nigeria's 5 deliveries, 1 strike, final over.
12 sixes in the innings for the West Indies, 7 fours. Can they add to it? Gets it in the gap, adds to the 4s. Andrew Russell dealing in boundaries.
Yeah, he wasn't looking for a 4, Dre Ross, but he didn't get the elevation and bisected those 2 fielders in the deep, mid-wicket and long on. He's still hitting the inner portion of the bat, so nowhere close to the middle. But Muscle Russell gets it over the boundary.
Spoke before the start of this game to you, Samuel Badri, about his stance, trying to cover the off stump so he gets closer to the ball. Looking for 2, and they get there eventually.
Immediately, Dwayne Bravo was calling 2, he was yelling 2 for Dre Ross to get back on strike.
Just a finishing that strategy by Andrew Russell to bat on off stump. Just feel as a bowler too, you can go full and straight. Take his arms away. Length this time.
And I think that bowlers will look to analyze and come up with that plan. You're quite right. I too am thinking something like that. Bowl those deliveries full and straight. Take away those arms, like you're mentioning there. And with all the data available now and analyses taking place, I'm sure that is something that they will think about. 2 deliveries left.
Flying off his hand again. He seems to need a new pair of gloves. Being too often for the right-handed all-rounder.
I'm not too sure how often he's faced these many balls in T20 cricket, in any form of cricket of late, Dwayne Bravo. Known nowadays for his bowling, his death over bowling in particular. But he's played this role to perfection tonight. Final delivery.
Stylish finish. That's synonymous with the man, Andrew Russell. Always attractive, always flamboyant in the way he plays, and he finishes the innings in style for the West Indies.
And Cottrell, generally when the ball swings, usually gets a wicket or 2 early up. Got him! That's the wicket early up. Dre Ross is shining like a star.
A perfect start by Sheldon Cottrell. Just getting Matthew Wade to play into that position where Andre Russell is. And he celebrates. Matthew Wade goes without scoring. Australia 0 for 1.
As a follow-up to wicket, Marsh win for the goal of Chairman Cottrell. In from the batsman, Marsh.
Mitch Marsh, who achieved his half-century last night, highest scoring T20 internationals, and be hoping that he can follow up on his exploits of the first game. Cottrell generally gets wickets early up. He's a new ball. That's his role. We talk about roles. Not as strong at the back end. Marsh will be happy with that. Cottrell will be a little bit disappointed that it was way over pitched. Looking for that swing again, though.
Yeah, no better way to get off the mark. Marsh with that 4. But this was the wicket of Wade. Cottrell with his celebration, that salute.
The thing about the wicket for me, Stacey and King, is the widest signal, is that we saw a nice angle of the ball after pitching, just curling further away outside the off stump from Matthew Wade. I'm not sure whether that was the significant thing that led to the dismissal, but he had to fetch it because of a little bit of shape away from him.
I think that's what Cottrell brings with that new ball.
power play economy of just under 7. Middle overs, just under 7 economy rate for Cottrell. But at the death, he goes for nearly 10 on average. It's understandable. He has his role like so many players in this format, folks, wherever you're watching from. All players have their role. Looking for that swing again, but going too full, and Mitchell Marsh needs no second invitation. 2 lovely shots so far from him.
Keep going.
Just over pitching this delivery. Easily driven past Dwayne Bravo at that mid-off position.
You can see the movement, and maybe it just took it further to the bottom of the bat, which forced Wade to just scoop it to Andre Russell. Better length to end the over, 9 for 1.
Driver PC 8998, could you please remove your vehicle? You are causing some disturbance. Thank you. Once again, the driver of PC 8998, could you please remove your vehicle?
Center, please. Thank you.
Bowler from the southern end, Fidel Edwards.
Fidel Edwards sharing the new ball. And the wind as well, both bowlers taking advantage of ends, Stacey and King, that will allow the wind to be of assistance to them rather than a hindrance with the new ball. Edwards will be hoping for a way swing, but the odd nip backer at Finch is also a good option. There's that away movement.
Just a change from last night's game, opting to go with pace and spin. Going with 2 pacers tonight, West Indies.
Finch hitting with the shape of the ball. So often around the world, teams look to nip the ball back at him, looking for that LBW because he closes himself off. It's not the only mode of dismissal, but it's plan A, and then depending on your shape, as Edwards is, he look to swing it away and maybe nip off the outside edge, slip, short third man, and point. Should have been a wide. Should have been a wide. That should have been called a wide. Seen worse.
Hayden Walsh Jr. It's also on that backward point. Important fielding position. It's one of the quicker fielders for West Indies.
know if you heard that at home from Nicholas Puran, where he said, good stuff, buddy. So even in test matches, 50-over games, you want your bowler to close out the over well. Last ball of the over, you want to avoid the boundary.
And it's interesting because Fidel Edwards went for 16 in his first over last night. So he's done well to come back with just 4 off the over so far.
Slips come out. Gone to mid-wicket. (14 for 1). Second over for Sheldon Cottrell. Can he get a length that is full enough without the over pitching? Dropped it. Unfortunate Andre Fletcher. Should have been held. Should have been held.
Yeah, he'll know the significance of dropping Aaron Finch. That was just too easy.
Marsh is looking to put pressure on the bowler. So the last ball, the previous over, or early in the previous over, is looking to pull length. Go back to that catch again. It's such a big moment. Remember it, folks. Cottrell's role is to get new ball wickets. He would have had 2, an opportunity for 2, fulfilling his role.
Just losing his way, Cottrell. Just some wayward deliveries here.
That's the sort of length I think folks watching at home you'll be searching for as a stock ball. We talk about the advantage of the left-armers bowling well because there are so few of them, Stacey, and in international cricket, that you've trained yourself as a right-arm batsman to be expecting deliveries from a youngster coming from a certain angle. And that's why this point of difference with left-arm seamers who bowl well offer an advantage to so many teams.
He has a lot of variations, Cottrell, but just needs to decide on which ones, the line and length in which he wants to deliver at.
Yeah, different from McCoy. McCoy has all the variations of slower balls. Cottrell's greatest strength is seam up swinging the ball, the odd cutter, but he doesn't have the full variety as an Obed McCoy, different types of bowlers. I think that might have been the cutter there, pace off the ball. That might have been pace off the ball. Little off spinner, that's his thing. McCoy will give you that and out of the back of the hand. $19 for 1. Terrific knock by Shimron, Hetmyer, Dwayne Bravo, and then Andre Russell polishing off the innings to get the West Indies to 196. Fidel Edwards. Not sure that you would have been able to predict that, but Edwards has his man.
I think Finch was just, the speed would have caught him. Just not knowing what to do with this one.
A slower ball, piece off the ball. Very good deception. Aaron Finch in all sorts of problems. 6 to him, 19 for 2. Josh Philippi. Important role. And we'll get a chance to see the magnificence of that slow delivery from Fidel Edwards again. Philippi was out pulling to McCoy last night. Try the slower ball again.
You're just not sure what to do with this one. Just caught off guard Finch. But this one has dipped a whole lot. Yeah, Fidel Edwards likes this. He's celebrating. He's all smiles. Executing his slower ball.
Fletcher, keeper! Keeper! Yeah. Well done, boy. Sweet boy, sweet boy, sweet boy.
There are a number of things to elaborate on with the celebration and the uniqueness of Fidel Edwards. You can think of Bravo's slower ball and how brilliant he has been, and Edwards going to him. Yeah. But you can also think stylistically, Edwards' low slingy arm, you think back to the great Lassit Malinga and how his slower ball with a low arm used to dip and drop.
Yeah, two interesting points there. And then he runs directly to Dwayne Bravo, who is mastermind of these slower ball deliveries. Probably something that they've been working on in the nets.
Not probably, they have definitely been working on it. So I don't know that he will get all the credit. Roddy Estwick, the bowling coach, all of those things. But Bravo's had a huge influence in trying to pass on information. There's Roddy Estwick left of your screen. He's been working hard as well. But Edwards is also very experienced, so they would have been tossing ideas. It's not like one-way traffic.
There's that slower ball again. Just worked off the pads for one.
2 more, cut again, boys.
One thing with Edwards is with that shape that he gets with the new ball, you'd still like to see him touch the ball down on off stump with that little leg cutter that he generally gets. The ball doesn't swing for long, this white ball. That sort of area. Just a little bit more towards off stump. He's hurt himself.
Keep going, man. Keep going, man.
He's hurt himself. Oh. Not sure if it's shoulder or the bicep. Best perhaps for him to go and someone else finish the over or not. Looks like he's going, so someone will have to finish it.
Match summary, Hetmyer stood out with that 61 for West Indies. Bravo as well. Simmons got a start, and Russell to the end with that 24 of 8. Hetmyer with his career best. Second T20 50. Just backed himself tonight to play the shots that he knows he can play. There was no pressure. He built an innings quite well, running between the wickets with Dwayne Bravo, but then executed his shots as he wanted tonight.
He hasn't bowled for a while, Lendl Simmons. He used to, I think under Darren Ganger's leadership for the Red Force, he used to bowl a few overs. Not a bad spell for the night for Lendl Simmons. 23 for 2.
One.
Andre Russell finished off the innings nicely with the bat. Now, can he hit the appropriate length? I was looking at his pitch map from the South Africa series and last night, and surprisingly to me, he's been more expensive off a good length, which is the converse of what you expect. Strike rate is about 200 on a good length, but it's not a bad area to try to hit straight up on this pitch. That's good.
And good feeling by Fabian Allen. And it's interesting that he's bowling again in the power play overs. Just 1 over again to go after this one in the power play. Not much protection for him, Andre Russell.
Stacey, as you know, he likes usually to get in a short ball or two in his first over. So often he does it. Can he hit a good length again, or does he go short? Short and wide, and gone for 6. Such a tremendous shot. I thought it was going to go for 4, but into the wind, carrying all the way.
Yeah, Marsh just continuing from where he left off last night. Just too wide from Andre Russell. And an easy shot, easy cut. This one goes to the maximum.
Length wasn't bad, but just the width. So now the 2 deep fielders are on the offside, left of your screen.
He will have to maintain that off stump, that 4th stump line, Andre Russell, because there's no protection to that leg side where the wind is blowing across the ground that everyone seems to just like to go at.
Marsh's easy power. But I just want to touch on a point with Shimron, Hetmyer and Dwayne Bravo and the way they play. We've been discussing how the West Indies should approach their game. Is it that you have the personnel in the team that need to do things better in those middle overs, or do you need to import someone? Well, tonight, this guy who still plays and is available for Test cricket, hasn't played for a while, shown a little bit of maturity, and why they're looking to him as one option to really control the middle of the innings. He did it nicely.
Yeah, a real confidence innings for Hetmyer. And I think having Bravo there just helps with, just that concentration and that extra support and encouragement. So just a reminder that, yes, you can do this. You have the shots. Just work, just keep working it around. You'll get those right balls to put away.
Bravo himself, for West Indian fans and even for fans around the world, played a good hand, turning back the clock in terms of his ability to rotate, strike, and manipulate the ball. So the talent within the team is there. It's about the guys thinking about it better and applying themselves better. It's within the bunch. 32 for 2.
Dwayne Bravo to bowl the final over of the power play. Nicholas Pooran used 5 bowlers in that phase of the game. In the first game, yet again, 5 bowlers being used. Importantly for the West Indies, they will feel pleased with the fact that they've taken 2 wickets. Australia in that first game was quite explosive in the power play overs. They scored 70 in the first 6. They've had to work a little bit harder on this occasion. Afternoon, Sir Kirtley Ambrose. Edged away, will go for 4. Chris Gayle takes chase, but he won't get there.
A little bit streaky from Marsh, trying to play on the onside. Slow delivery from Dwayne Bravo. He's a master at his craft. Captain Nicholas Puran saying, how come I didn't get that? The funny thing about it, I'm quite sure the Australians would have looked at video tapes and all that stuff, footage of the West Indians, especially Dwayne Bravo. But when you've got a clever lead, this guy is slow ball. You can watch all the footage you want. It's difficult to pick up.
Another single. Well, of course, Australia will treat this tour as a fact-finding mission as well. These two teams doesn't have an extensive history between them in T20 cricket before the start of this tour. Only 11 matches. Again, it's an Australian squad, which is lacking Glenn Maxwell, David Warner, Jai Richardson, Steve Smith, Marcus Stoinis. A lot of experienced players. Whilst it is an opportunity for some of the younger Australian players, I'm sure they'll be researching, taking a mental note of the West Indians, also in preparation for that upcoming ICC T20 World Cup. Minimal risk. 10 runs coming from the over. 42 for 2. End of the power play. Australia not too far behind.
Change of bowler. Left arm round.
After 6 overs. Fabian Allen with the ball for the first time.
Come here. This is your head.
Over from number 10, Fabian Allen.
On line. There you go. I'm going to talk about.
Mitchell Marsh spoke about the challenge as a batsman to balance his boundary hitting skill with his ability to rotate strike. He recognized it as an important aspect in a batsman's game in any format. Saw him do that quite well in the first game when he scored a half century. I think as we go deeper into this innings, Kirkley, Australia will surely need to put a higher weighting on boundary hitting.
They certainly will have to. West Indies getting to a formidable total of 196 for 4. That's a huge total. Certainly would need some good power hitting from the Australians to get to that target. It's not going to be easy. They are the ones that are under pressure. Lost the first game last night. They wouldn't want to go 2-0 down.
Just sense from what Aaron Finch said before the start of this T20 International Series that Australia will be playing out of their comfort zones, trying to play the boundary hitting game in T20s. It's an aspect that the West Indies has used as a team to good effect in T20 cricket. That's a niche. If you can get it right, you can separate yourself from the pack. Australia in that first game struck 7 sixes. The West Indies 8, so not far off in terms of the power that we've seen. Now, there's an outside edge that will run away for 4. These are welcome runs for the Australians. Finishes the over on a high. It's 51 for 2.
That's a 50 out for Australia. Australia now 51 for 2.
Australia matching the West Indies so far in this run chase. Hayden Walsh Jr. Start with a short delivery. Oh, brilliance in the field. Excellent support by Sheldon Cottrell. Saved a couple runs.
He's a good fielder, Sheldon Cottrell. We've seen him taking some magnificent catches in the past. One that readily comes to mind in the World Cup not so long ago.
Again, this time, he finds the gap. Another average delivery from Hayden Walsh Jr. to start his spell of overs.
He dragged it down very short, an on-leg stump. And Mitch Marsh, who is such good form, wasn't going to miss out. Much better delivery. That has been one of the downside to Hayden Walsh Jr. bowling. He tends to drag it down quite a bit early in his spell.
And again. Another good start by Hayden Walsh Jr., who was the star performer alongside Obed McCoy in that first game. It was through the middle overs that they did the damage for the West Indies with the ball. Walsh picking up his best figures of 3 for 23 in that first match. He's bowled him. Well, after 3 average deliveries, he gets one right and he gets a wicket.
That certainly will do his confidence the world of good. Slightly short, missed it completely. Felipe, jubilation for Hayden Walsh Jr. Josh Felipe is going for 13. Australia in a bit of trouble. 58 for 3.
Follow the third wicket. Felipe goes by Hayden Walsh Jr. Incoming batsman. Henriques.
This is Henriques. Big task on hand. Required rate of 11.4 at this stage.
Place it in the hand, buddy.
This was a 4th delivery in Walsh Jr. Getting a wicket for the West Indies and another success. 59 for 3. Australia desperate.
Refill.
They need a partnership at this stage of the innings.
Stand. Good. And leave your ground.
Spinners on both ends. Fabian Allen.
Come here.
Identical numbers at this stage of the game for both teams.
Just off first two.
And then Bravo and Hetmyer with that wonderful partnership. Oh, well, what was that? Fortune favors the brave, they say. Really, Nicholas Pooh, the wicketkeeper, couldn't do anything about that. He was blindsided. Oh, he was wrong-footed as well.
Miss everyone. But Australia will add 4 to their tally. West Indies will want to keep their intensity with the ball, continue taking wickets to apply pressure on the Australians.
One.
Now they are applying a bit of pressure. They put the first slip in. And why not? They have Australia on the ropes at the moment. Couple more wickets here.
Keep working, boys. One.
What Nicholas Pooran and the West Indians have done is rotated their bowlers. 7 bowlers used so far, and we're only into the 9th over of the innings. So not allowing the Australian batsmen to settle to any one particular bowler, which is always a good strategy.
We've seen that a lot in T20 cricket all over the globe. 7 bowlers used so far. Certainly has become the norm. The rationale behind it is you don't want a batsman to get accustomed to any one particular bowler. But the other side, the flip side to it is bowlers want to bowl at least 2 to get a little bit of a rhythm as well.
Get in there. Excellent stuff, baby.
Another single. 67 for 3. Christopher Henry Gayle, just 13 runs today. In the last 4 years, he's played 16 matches, just 192 runs at an average of 13. Surely he will be a talking point, Sir Kirtley Ambrose.
Go here.
Certainly will be.
Again, come on.
Hasn't really produced the goods for quite some time.
Akil. Leave it. Yeah, get behind this time.
Didn't quite get it right here, the Walsh Jr.
Get behind. Good work, guys. Come on.
Let's have a look at this.
Keep working there, boys.
What will it do with it?
No
Oh,
way looking. Akil.
There's a little bit of hesitation, just missed the stumps on the first attempt.
Get it, Brad.
Wonderful use of the feet down the track and goes all the way for 6. Much needed a maximum for the Australians.
Keep going here. That's good stuff. That's good here.
they're looking to take the attack to hit Walsh Jr. Much better delivery. Pushing for 2. Not on. Sheldon Cottrell very quick across the field. And that was a 6, 2 deliveries ago. Beautiful use of the feet.
Looking at him, right?
And they're going to need quite a few more of those, the Australians, if they're going to get the runs.
Get that! Let it!
Oh, brilliance. Yet again, Hetmyer, he's having a really good game. Runs, showing a great effort in the field.
That was brilliant. That certainly was brilliant. Walsh Jr. under a little bit of pressure at the moment. Just need to keep his composure and stay focused.
Doesn't seem to find the right length on the surface here in Walsh Jr. Contrast to what we saw in that first game. Just struggling a bit with his control. Luckily for the West Indies, haven't been hurt a lot for those short deliveries. Another quick single to end the over. It's 78 for 3.
Neck and neck, the Worms. West Indies first innings were really impressive and explosive. They need to keep that run rate up. The Australians have already lost the 3 wickets. So much is required of these two. Henriques, Marsh, again showing his form. In the air. Drops it. Dwayne Bravo got there. It was a difficult chance. Always been an exceptional athlete, Dwayne Bravo. Wasn't able to hold on.
A rare drop catch here. Just getting Marsh to make that mistake. Henriques, sorry.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Just spilling it, Dwayne Bravo.
Two is the call. Been really good in the field, barring that drop catch from Andrew Fletcher early on in the innings. But across the ground, they're quite quick. This man on the screen took a magnificent catch yesterday to get rid of Starc at full tilt. What he's trying to do, Fabian Allen, is get very full so they can't get under him. Henriques is trying to move across to the offside to hit with the wind, but he's been very clever. He changes his pace quite well, Fabian Allen.
Yeah, he'll be happy with just singles being taken. Just restricting those long levers of Marsh and Henriques.
Yeah, they won't mind this at all, the West Indians. Neither would Fabian Allen. 6 runs from that over 11 gone, 84 for 3. Required a run rate 12.5 at this stage. But it's getting up there, and they'll need to keep a close check on that. These two. And Dwayne Bravo, an expensive first over. 10 from it, and makes a return from the pavilion end.
Yeah, but Australia would be happy with this partnership. It's 26. Mitch Marsh is still there. And he's probably going to try to anchor this innings and bat as deep as possible.
Dwayne Bravo, usually when he operates from this side, it's a leg stump line. Nice straight line, so he's asking the batsman to hit in that direction.
Leave, Ralph.
And they get 2.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Yeah, come on. Let's keep going, boys.
If we have a look at his field, he has that long on in position, a deep mid wicket, and a deep backward square.
Yeah, just protection in those areas that he wants Mitch Marsh and Henriques to play at.
Once they can prevent the boundaries, they'll be very happy with their efforts. Just send that required run rate further and further north. 110 from 52 is what's required at this stage. Really saw a remarkable collapse last night from the Australians. 108 for 4. 127 all out. Lost 6 wickets for 19 runs. Really inexplicable. So an opportunity to redeem themselves somewhat. Mitch Marsh was excellent last night in that number 3 position. First time batting there in T20 internationals. Got to his first T20 international half century.
Choose the call. And 2 runs successfully. Yeah, he's probably going to want to better that 51 from last night, Mitch Marsh. It's on 46 at present.
Crashes this one through the offside, gets the boundary. He gets his 50 consecutive half centuries for Mitch Marsh, and really in some fine form.
That's the 50 from Mitchell Marsh.
Yeah, given some room on that off stump by Bravo, and just beating that backward point fielder for 4 runs.
He'd be very pleased with his efforts, Mitch Marsh, looking to cement that spot. I asked him at the start of the game. Why he'll have to reload. I'll ask him at the start of the game whether he has his ambition set on making that spot his own. He smiled and said he'd love to. Well, he's doing an excellent job so far in both these games. He's shown his class, shown his power, his finesse, but he'll need to bat very deep. 51 from 31, unbeaten 50 now. But much more work for the Australians. Single to end, 96 for 3.
Let's get a new batter in now, yeah? Go, boys, come on. Drums. Marsh.
West Indies inserted and got 196 for 4. Really good total on the surface.
Excellent.
Still wouldn't mind that.
Excellent.
Fabian Allen
Yeah, he's done it,
just looking to get in that block hole region. Not trying to turn. Some variety in terms of his pace.
Okay. Bravo.
It's been really good in terms of that variety, Fabian Allen. You can see his changes of speeds during this innings. It's been outside that off stump, bowling from this end. Huge shot for LBW, outside off stump. But bowling from this end, that's where you want to be as a bowler. Henriques trying to counter that by getting across the offside so that he can hit towards the leg. But he's been really good into his final over, only 19 conceded. And that will be considered a drop catch, Stacey and King. He's a brilliant fielder.
You gotta catch up, buddy. Keep going. Right there.
Yeah, and he'll know the importance of putting down this wicket.
Right there.
Not getting his hands to it.
You go fabulous.
But if you want to bowl in those lengths, in those areas, then you have to expect him to come back at you.
One, only one. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it might sound a bit harsh calling that a drop catch. It was powerfully struck by Mitch Marsh, but for those of you who would know, this man, Fabian Allen, really an exceptional fielder.
Catch him.
Goes for it. Does he get the distance? Oh, excellent bit of fielding from Andrew Russell. Might have just prevented the boundary. The umpires will want to have a look at this. If he does prevent the boundary, it would have been a moment of brilliance. Just want to have a closer look at that. Fabian Allen dropping that catch in that over, firmly hit, but Andrew Russell, such an athlete, really, really good in the deep on the boundary. Just look at this effort. Just have to admire that. Such natural athletes to these West Indians.
Yeah, right by the umpire. Yeah.
And good awareness to know exactly where the boundary rope is. And just throw it back in the nick of time.
Yeah, catch him there.
None for 22 from his 4, Fabian Allen. Excellent given the conditions here. Very slow from Hayden Walsh. If there's one thing he's getting right, in my respectful view, is his pace, his length. Not so much so, but he's deliberately trying to bowl slowly. It's been something that he's been working on of late.
Get it, bravo!
Goes down the ground, goes straight, curls, and taken. Just curled back with the wind. Close enough to Dwayne Bravo, who makes no mistake this time, and the dangerous Mitch Marsh goes.
You're not giving him much room here, just having to force a shot here, Mitch Marsh, but could only pick out Dwayne Bravo, who makes no mistake in holding this catch. Mitch Marsh goes for 54. Australia 101 for 4.
Ben McDermott, the new batsman for Australia, makes his way out in the middle with a required run rate of 14.4. So not ideal circumstances for him.
Next one, come on, cut.
You have to go immediately. In Walsh Jr., another wicket for him, in and amongst the wickets once again. And some turn as well. He's bowling really slowly. 3 wickets yesterday and 2 today. This one just twirled back, but a brilliant effort from Dwayne Bravo. Really, really safe pair of hands. And not for the first time, Mitch Marsh falls soon after getting to that half-century mark. That was his personal best in T20 international cricket. What can Ben McDermott do tonight? Can he have an impact?
Yeah.
It will be needed for the Aussies.
Go ahead, let me see him paddle sweep first ball. On shore, you're gonna paddle sweep. Oi!
Loose delivery. Doesn't get the gap, it gets the gap. Really a gift from Hayden Walsh Jr. Hold short, this time he presented a lollipop.
Yeah, what better way to come off the mark? It's too full here from Walsh Jr. And McDermott come off the strike with 4.
Oh, get in there. After you go. Relax.
Successful over comes to an end from Hayden Walsh Jr. Really good fielders on this West Indies team. Let's hear who Andrew Fletcher rates.
Hayden, I would say, is our best fieldsman. Sorry. Sorry, Fabian, but honestly, that's my view, that's my opinion. I think Hayden is our best fieldsman.
And Andre, everyone is entitled to his opinion. I disagree. I humbly disagree with you. I think Fabian Allen is the best fielder on this team.
But it's good when players are competing for that best feeling spot. That means feeling will be even better.
Taking some brilliant catches in the field. Fabian Allen, Hayden Walsh Jr. is brilliant. Make no mistake about it, he's really good on the field, really good pair of hands. Russell back on the attack. Good start for Russell, looking to bowl that wide line. This is a tough one for Fabian Allen. It was firmly struck. And the only reason why we are counting that as a drop catch is because of the quality of a fielder he is. Stacey and King, some people might even say he stopped the boundary.
Well, it still goes down as a drop catch, but it was firmly hit. He did well, at least to stop that boundary, if that is the case. But he had some backup, long on and long off.
But it really speaks volumes about the quality of fielders on this team when we don't even mention Andrew Russell, who himself is really good. Kyron Pollard, brilliant in the field as well. Shimron Hetmyer has shown that he can be excellent as well. Dwayne Bravo, Sheldon Cottrell. So when you combine the players on this team, well, most of them anyway, a really good fielding unit.
And that's good because as a captain, you'd hate to have a fielder that you have to hide because he isn't feeling well.
Just admire the fielding of these players. Andrew Russell, the awareness, the athleticism. Look at Dwayne Bravo. A leap, completing that catch. Made it look easy. It's not easy running and judging the boundary rope. Bowling to your plans.
Bowling coaches and fielding coaches will be very proud of this.
Run rate over 16 and a half. 86 from 31. They'll need to get a move on. They'll need some boundaries. The Australians. Did he get hold of it? Dwayne Bravo. Yes. Gets him. Another wicket falls. Andrew Russell gets in on the act and another catch for the champion, Dwayne Bravo. Just trying to go for that maximum there. Didn't get hold of it. And Dwayne Bravo confidently calling for it. Andrew Fletcher responding, staying away from him. And Russell strikes. And McDermott falls cheaply for 7. Australia 111 for 5.
McDermott cut off the bowling from Russell. Australia 111 for 5. The incoming batsman, Dan Christian.
I don't mind you cutting something here for me now.
Dan Christian, the new batsman, coming in at a time where Australia are in real trouble. This is why he's there.
Come boys, the game down here for 2 balls, 2 balls.
McDermott went for the big hit, didn't quite get hold of it. Easy catch in the end by Dwayne Bravo. Jubilation for Andrew Russell and the West Indies team.
Get him.
Australia still leading 85 runs from 25 deliveries. Not looking good for Australia, Bish.
Catch it's the cry, catch it's the cry in the pockets of Fabian that man. In the words of Samuel Badri, the best fielder on the West Indies team.
More trouble for Australia. Just lost their 6th wicket. Here to Walsh Jr. in the act again. Henriques went for the big shot, didn't get hold of it. And Fabian Allen, wonderful fielder, took an easy catch. And look at the celebration. Moses Henriques is gone for 19. Australia slumped to further trouble. 112 for 6.
Australia 112 for 6. Incoming batsman, Ashton Eager.
Go boys, they go again, boys. Switch.
Australia, one of the things, Secretary Ambrose, one of the things they're trying to find on this tour is a finisher. Someone who can finish the innings from down in that 6, 7, 8 area. Goodly.
Good hand.
Really good for Hayden Walsh as well, because friend of mine in the US, a colleague of ours,
Good stuff. Keep going,
Peter
keep
De La
taking
Pena,
it.
sent me a story that in 2019, when Hayden was playing for the USA, he was in the UAE in a qualifying tournament. Australia were touring to play 5 ODIs. And they asked for Hayden and a couple of the USA guys to come and bowl to them at the nets. And Hayden was there bowling, run out, it's going to pieces. Instead of finding a finisher, Australia are being finished.
That is what pressure does. They can't seem to find the runs. Wickets are tumbling. And a terrible mix-up. Look at that. The question is, who gets run out? Looks like Agar is gone. And Australia are falling apart.
I think the umpire will have to clarify it from upstairs. It looks as though it could be Agar, but they're going to clarify who got into the ground first. Look at left of screen. Left of screen, who crosses the line? Looks like the right of screen was who's gone? When were the stumps broken at the other end? That's the other thing too. Where was Dan when the stumps were broken? They'll just have another look. I don't mind this because I think the umpires have to be absolutely clear, Curtly Ambrose, in their mind. You don't want to mess up in front of millions of television viewers. Make sure. We think it's Agar.
Quite agreed. That's what the technology is there for, to make sure the right decision is being made. So the umpires are waiting for confirmation of which of the two batsmen will have to depart. They're both in the same crease. Looks like Agar would have to go. Christian is in. Agar is still out of his ground.
Yeah, I think the umpire wants to see from the other side because Agar's leg is being obscured on that split screen. We thought from the initial replay, 2 replays ago, that Agar had not gone back into his ground, but the umpire needs proof. So let's roll it back a touch. And when is the stump broken and where is Agar's foot? Christian is there first. But Agar is also there when the stumps are broken. Both of them are there. So we have confirmation, as we suspected. Left arm spinner goes.
Well, it doesn't matter which one has to go. They are in serious trouble. Now lost their 7th wicket, Australia. Ashton Agar is going for 113 for 7.
Incoming batsman, Starc.
Mitchell Starc can hit a long ball, but is 84 from 26 and an asking rate of 20. I know back in 2010, Michael Hussey, Mike, if you're watching, you created heroics and history on this ground with Cameron White chasing 80 of the last 6 or 7 overs, semi-final of the 2010 ICC T20 World Cup against Pakistan. 18 of Ajmal's final over. Power failure for Starc. Yeah, I was just saying about Hayden Walsh Jr. He spent that time in 2019 bowling at Aaron Finch and the Australians for hours, and now he finds himself playing against them and taking wickets against them. It's a fantastic story. Thank you, Peter, for the enlightenment. And for those from Australia, Walsh Jr. and Walsh Sr., sadly, who passed away, a colleague of yours, Sir Kirtley, a few years ago, his dad.
Yes, Hayden Walsh Sr., that's his dad, played with him for Antigua and of course Leeward Islands as well. And cricket is in the family. Talking about Vaughan Walsh as well, fast bowler.
Oi! Over.
115 for 7. Australia have lost 4 for 14 recently. They lost 6 for 19 last night. Russell's last over, Sir Kirtley, and for viewers around the world, I thought was brilliant. Those wide Yorkers are not easy to be accurate about. If you want to hit me, hit into the wind from wide of off stump. Look at that consistency, even with pace off and pace on. And then the wicket. I thought that was brilliant. Can he follow it up again? Brilliant.
And that's the way to bowl. There's nothing much a batsman can do with those type of deliveries. You may get the inside edge and squirt it down to fine leg, but that's unfortunate. But you just want them to get under the ball to hit for 6. And they got enough protection on the boundary. Good bowling by Russell so far.
And if you have the error, at least let the error be wide. But commit yourself to that. Take the odd wide or 2 or 3. But deny the 6s. They need 6s and 4s to win the game.
It's an uphill task for Australia. Another wide, but the plan is clearly there. Just wide of off stump, but they got to get inside that white line. 80 still needed, Bish, from 23 deliveries. Not going to be easy.
Russell just got a thumbs up from Bravo at long on saying, don't worry about that. Keep trying to get that line. And folks, that's that delivery there. I'm sorry for going on about it, but it's one of the reasons that in this shortest format, bowlers are tested and you've got a set plan, but if the batsman moves at the last second, you've also got to be able to adjust. That's what I love about these modern players, that skill. Russell would have been hoping to hit off stump. Change in the field, square leg goes back. Long off comes up. Nice stroke from Dan Christian. He's a man charged for Australia with trying to finish games. It's a big task.
Powerfully struck down the ground. Dwayne Bravo at long on had no chance. It could easily be a case of too little too late for the Australians. Good follow-up delivery from Andre Russell.
That delivery was the reason he sent square leg back. To be able to bowl that short ball as a changer right of your screen. Square leg dropped out to the boundary, so it gave him the option of that bouncer.
Very good bowling, very good. It will be two, but it wouldn't hurt the West Indies one bit. Oh, how is that? Andre Fletcher, direct hit.
Copy, Joel. Review for run out. TV umpire to director, I have a review for a run out. Could you give me your best side on shot, please? That is grounded, wicket is broken. Satisfied, not out for the big screen. Not out.
Not out. Decision made already. Let's go, boys.
Confirmation, not out. Christian well in his ground, but a good flow nevertheless by Andre Fletcher.
So will it be Dwayne Bravo, who has 2 overs left from the other end, bowling wide of off stump to Starc or into the legs of Christian if he's still there? Very good again from Andre Russell, to be honest. Very, very good. 124 for 7.
Search. Now you're coming. Same feet right before, boys, to the right under.
The West Indies were very good with Hetmyer, Bravo getting a promotion today when they batted and stringing together that wonderful partnership with Hetmyer. And then Russell with that sharp upturn at the end of the innings. Bravo round the wicket. And perhaps pace on and pace off into leg stump. Got in. Brilliant from Bravo. He hits that leg stump. West Indies have been spectacular tonight from batting to bowling.
He's a master at his craft. Dwayne Bravo understands T20. Look at that delivery. No room at all for Christian. Just clip the pads and onto the stumps. Jubilation. Dan Christian is gone for 9. Australia 124 for 8.
Now 124 for 8. Incoming batsman, Adam Zampa.
Adam Zampa on strike. He loves the offside, Zampa. By his own confession, he's an offside player. Because where he grew up, his dad bowling at him outside the house, there was a fence on the leg side, a picket fence, so he couldn't hit it there. So everything had to be hit through the offside into the open space. So he loves the offside.
There's a similar story with Sir Richie Richardson, who is the ICC match referee. The ground that he played it cricket on in 5 Islands. When they're bowling from the southern end, they can't hit to the offside because all the houses are there. That's why he developed his hook shot. And when you're bowling from the northern end, you can't play the hook shot because of the houses. So that's why he developed that square cut. Richie Richardson, so I can relate to that story. That's Sir Richie Richardson, ICC match referee, former teammate, captain, prolific ex-West Indian player.
hooked me clean out of the Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad on a couple of occasions.
Well, don't feel too bad, Bish. He's done that to a lot of fast bowlers around the globe.
You ready, soldier?
This batting second for Australia. I just want to give you a stat after this ball. I think the last 7 times, including this match, that Australia have chosen to bat second, they would have lost 6 of those games. 6 of the last 7 when they've chosen or been put in to chase.
They may want to reconsider their decision maybe for the third T20, the Australians. They've won the toss twice and elected to bowl first. And they've lost the first game. Now they're on the verge of losing this one as well. So they may need to rethink if they win the toss again.
Very professional from Bravo. 131 for 8.
Just take it, stay down here. Eh, go on, sir. Hear him, go on. Bobby, go on. Up there.
Day off tomorrow for the teams and the commentators. Hardly ever work. We shouldn't get any days off, to be honest. And then we resume on Monday, 30-20 International. Sheldon Cottrell. Very good up front. Let's see if his skills, he's been working on his depth skills.
Wide on, wide on.
And just, I think at this stage, even for Sheldon Cottrell, what he'll be saying and what the guys will be saying to him right now is, Sheldon, we need you to continue refining your death bowling skills, and this is an opportunity and over to do that. So we need you to try to get your Yorkers in, because I remember when he was taking a part in the IPL at Sharjah last year, because he doesn't have a great Yorker, but he's been working on it. So whatever he chooses, pace off or pace on, ensure that you're still practicing the correct principles.
And the more you do it, the better you will get. It's all about repetition, because it's a very difficult delivery to bowl the Yorker. It's a high-risk delivery. No margin for error.
Goes with pace off. West Indies have been brilliant tonight, haven't they, secretly? Really good Hetmyer, Bravo, Russell with the bat, Cottrell with the ball, Russell with the ball, Walsh. That's where I'll stress once again that there are the resources within the team, but it'll take a while for Hetmyer to find his consistency, batting through the middle, for Pooran to find his form.
That's exactly what it's all about. It's never a question of talent or the potential. It's just about the consistency or lack thereof. As long as these guys can be consistent over a period of time, they will be a real force to be reckoned with, especially in T20 cricket. I'm quite happy to see Shimron Hetmyer got some runs this evening.
Gone. Cottrell has his man. The offside doesn't prove to be a strength for Zampa tonight.
Hardly any celebrations from Cottrell and the West Indies team. Easy catch, really. Gayle Hussain, the substitute. And then there is a foregone conclusion. Zampa is going for 3. Australia 134 for 9.
Hazlewood on strike. That is a good effort to bowl a wide to a man who's 6 feet 5 or 6 inches tall.
West Indies are on the verge of taking a 2-0 lead in this T20 T20 games.
Unfortunate for Cottrell. He stands with hands akimbo, but runs for Hazlewood after his knock last night. 139 for 9.
Come on!
First runs in international T20s for Josh Hazlewood. Strike rate of 200. Chris Gayle.
Final over of the innings. The final over is given to the senior campaigner, Christopher Henry Gayle. Clean him up! And West Indies have won the second T20 International. Christopher Henry Gayle, second delivery of the last over. Cleaning up Hazlewood. Victory for West Indies. Taking a 2-0 series lead.